Hi, and welcome to Nurse with Needles podcast. Um, if you're a new viewer, hello, and welcome aboard. And if this is your, I was going to say second time around, but this could be third, fourth, fifth, whatever. If you are a returning viewer, it is great to see you back again. Grab your needles, your hook, and yarn away with us. My name is Talia. And I am your, sorry, my thingy is being uncooperative. There we go.
It's a technical term.
My name is Talia, also known as Franciscan Gypsy on Plurk and Ravelry, and I am your podcasting host today. This is my mom. She is Lady Fernico on both Plurk and Ravelry. And she is our co-host today. Hello. My sister will not be making a show of it this time. I'm not sure what she's doing upstairs right now, but our podcast was really long last time. I'm kind of hoping not to be quite that long this time.
Save you all the aggravation.
So, I guess now that we've done introductions, we can jump right into the knitting. My first project, yeah, I better do that now. Okay, sorry. I'm going to be on the screen for half a second. My first project is the Heather Yoke. This is the Solvig Yoke pattern by Eleanor Brown, and I'm making it for my grandmother. It's the size 39.5. I'm using US 5, my stitch marker's running away, there we go. I'm using US 5 and US 8 Knit Picks interchangeable circulars. I actually think I'm using US 8s right now for that project because the US 5s were used for the ribbing. The pattern calls for a 16-inch cable and a 24-inch cable. I think it's in each of those needle sizes that requires it. That's why interchangeables are just so much easier for this project. This is basically my Knit Picks project because I'm using the Knit Picks yarn Anion Treasure, and I am working with several different colors for that. It's the Aurora Heather colorway, which is a forest green, Meringue Heather, which is kind of like an off-white, Mystery Heather, which is a dark gray, Grove Heather, which is a lighter green, kind of like a grass green, Tide Pool Heather, which is a bluish, greenish kind of color, and Sapphire Heather, which is a nice bright blue, and also Fog Heather, which is a foggy gray. For this pattern, you need to know how to cast on, to knit to purl, to make one left, to make one right, to slip, slip, knit, to knit two together, to wrap and turn, how to work from a chart, and how to do stranding. So let me show you this project I'm talking about. It's not the one I'm knitting on right now, but I'm actually quite happy with
It's coming along really well.
how it's turning out. I've worked through all the colors at least once.
How pretty that is. You can see the blues up.
So the blues are up at the top. Yeah, stitch markers are marking when I changed my color work because the chart's written in a way that I need to mark it.
You start to see the pattern.
Yeah, I kind of like it. The dark gray is kind of hard to see.
It shows up. It shows up pretty well.
It's just mostly because the green's so dark.
I guess it's right here.
Yeah, that is.
Yeah.
The sleeves are already attached. I just need to sew up the underarm when I'm done. And, I mean, it's very close to being done. My grandparents are coming down this weekend for my dad's birthday, so I need to hide this so my grandmother doesn't see it.
Which means that the podcast might be a little bit late next week.
They won't be here till Monday. Yeah. I mean, they won't be here. Yeah, they won't be here that long, so it shouldn't affect the podcast. But yeah, that's how it's looking so far. I'm really happy with it. I'm really enjoying working color work. And if you've never worked color work, there's two ways you can do it. Well, there's a few ways. Some people work their two yarn colors that they're working at once in their left hand, so they'll do it continental style. Some people who have a tendency toward English will work with their yarns both in their right hand. The problem with that is it can be a little difficult to maintain even tension between the yarns. The way I learned to knit, I taught myself initially to knit English style, but then I decided I didn't like that as much, so I switched to continental. Because of that, I'm able to use both hands, and that's the third method of doing your stranding, is working with one yarn color in one hand and one yarn color in the other. And the way I learned, they tell you to use your background color in your right hand and your color that you want to pop out so everyone will notice it in your left hand. So that's what I'm doing. And it's kind of weird. It was kind of weird initially getting back into knitting English style, but now it's not a problem. And I'm really glad I learned to do that first. So, yeah, that is my Heather Yoke. I'm having a lot of fun with that. I'm looking forward to having that off the needles so I can put something else on it. I didn't work at all on my cabled sweater. Didn't work at all on my Jewel Magic shawl. Didn't work at all on either of my two sock patterns. I've been pretty much working on only on certain projects. The other one I've been working on is my Fire Cardigan, and this is the Hyannis cardigan pattern by Kirsten Hipsky. I'm making it for me in the size 36. I'm using US 10.5 and US 9 Knit Picks interchangeable circulars with a 40-inch wire and 16-inch wire. The yarn I'm using is Valley Yarns Huntington. The colorways are red, mustard, and harvest orange. For this pattern, you need to know how to cast on, how to knit to purl, how to work ribbing, how to knit two together, how to slip knit, how to pick up stitches, how to knit buttonholes. And as I've said every podcast since I started this pattern, I don't intend to knit buttonholes. This pattern doesn't tell you how, and I think I'd rather a zipper. And since Zipper Stop will match it with a yarn swatch if I send it to them, I can get a zipper that matches my sweater. So when I'm done with the sweater, I'll send them the red yarn. I'm not sure if I said the colorways for the yarn. Red, mustard, and harvest orange. I'm working 3 different yarns together. But I'll send them the red yarn and get a red zipper in return.
Send them a swatch instead of a piece of yarn. Just send them a little knit swatch so they can see it better.
Yeah, I guess so. I'll make up my mind then. I'm sure I'll have enough. If I don't have enough for a swatch, I'll just send them one thing of yarn. Mm-hmm. So, yeah. And you also need to know how to Kitchener. Let me find my bag for that. It's in my bag, British bag.
Very apropos considering the Olympics. Olympics are in London this year.
Oh, I didn't know that. I haven't watched any of it this year.
Neither have I, but
I'm surprised Sabina hasn't wanted to watch the
I don't think she realizes the figure skating in the winter.
Oh. Well, never mind then. I guess it would make sense.
Yeah.
Okay.
And she has had her shower and everything.
But I did work last night.
Excuses.
So this is the sweater so far.
Made a lot of progress on that.
Yeah, have like a half an inch to go, and then I start the ribbing for the waist. So I'm really happy with that. I hadn't realized how far along I was. And I really like the kind of pattern that shows up with the red popping out with the yellow and orange. It really does look like a flame, which makes me happy.
It's a lot better than I thought it would. It really does.
Yeah, the the picture on the pattern showed a bunch of different blues. The person who had made this example grabbed all three blue yarns. I was like, I want something a little different. Red's my favorite color, and
It's more yellow than red, though.
it has orange in there too.
Yes, I know.
And I had a boyfriend in college who kept trying to convince me to wear orange because he thought it looked good on me.
Aaron or Josh?
That was Josh. Although Aaron liked orange too. I
Yes, he did.
had a habit in college of dating guys who liked orange. But when I wore orange, I always wore it with red because red's my favorite. So
Looking good.
I like it. I think it'll look really nice when it's done. It's unique.
Unique?
Unique.
Unique.
So that is that. And then I cast on for a new project. Nicole, this is your fault.
Everything's Nicole's fault. It's all Nicole's fault. Hot ass knitters.
Hot as knitter.
Knitter. One knitter.
She's a singular knitter.
Knitter. We just made you two knitters, Nicole.
Nicole, who is hot as knitter on Plurk and on Ravelry, it has the Positively Knitting podcast.
Check it out if you get the chance. It's really good.
It's very good, and hers is a lot more manageable than ours. She tries to keep it to about half an hour.
And she does well.
Yes, she does. So this next project is the one I'm currently working on, and it is the Nightwing Shawl. For all you superhero geeks out there, you're probably all like, yay! Nightwing is one of my favorite characters in the Batman universe. He was the first Robin, and when he grew up and moved away from Gotham, he became Nightwing. So he's my favorite. Most people don't realize that, even though my license plate says Nightwing. Most people don't know who Nightwing is, who aren't superhero geeks.
He is.
But yeah, Nightwing is my license plate, and I'm just a big Nightwing fan. I have a bunch of comics. But anyway, the pattern is actually the Sedna Shawl by Mary Lena Lynx. The reason it's being called Nightwing is the No Makers yarn that I got last week in the Nightwing colorway. I'm knitting it into this shawl, and I'll show it to you when I'm done going through my information with you. What makes me laugh is the pattern, the Sedna Shawl, which Nicole suggested. She loves the shawl, and I can see why. It's kind of a batwing shape. People at work keep saying it looks like a stingray, but because I took it to work for my lunch break knitting, they say it looks like a stingray, but I think it's apropos that it looks like a batwing because, I mean, Batman universe. It's a Nightwing shawl, not a Batman shawl.
No, it's a Batwing.
Yes, it is a Batwing shawl. Anyway, I'm making it for me. The Nightwing yarn's not going anywhere else. I'm using the US 4 Knit Picks interchangeable circulars, using the Harmony wood. The Nightwing yarn is No Makers 75% superwash merino with 25% nylon, and it's a Nightwing colorway. And I'm also going to be using another yarn. With this pattern, you knit for the shawl, and then you have a crochet edge. So my crochet edge, I wanted a black yarn, so I'm going to be using a yarn from Spring Tree Road, and this is an 80% superwash merino, 10% nylon, and 10% cashmere in the shades of black colorway, and that has not arrived yet. And I'm looking forward to it coming. If the doorbell rings, I'm hoping that's it.
I hope it's my project back.
Well, that too. But now I want my yarn more.
I don't want your yarn. I want my project back.
I don't care too much. For this pattern, you need to know how to knit to purl. Well, presumably you need to know how to cast on too, right? You need to know how to knit to purl, to yarn over, to chain, to single crochet, to slip stitch in the crochet, to double crochet, and how to do combined double crochet. I haven't looked yet at what they mean by combined double crochet, but I'm sure it's
I wonder
fine.
if that's a term for an increase.
Yeah, I don't know. I'll see. I haven't got to that point in the pattern. I'm still knitting. So it'll keep my crochet from going a little rusty.
What's that?
That was just my computer being wrapped. So this is the shawl so far. You can definitely see that it's a batwing. Can you please hold the edge? Thank you. It's kind of showing up in a camo-ish pattern.
It looks a lot more blue than it's showing up. Then it looks almost like a true camo.
Yeah.
Cami on the.
But the blue Nightwing's uniform is mostly black, and then it has this blue in a sort of bird shape across his chest, and then his gloves have some blue on it, and his boots have some blue on it.
And then it's white. He does have white. I don't remember what.
I think we just said, "Oh, look where the eye holes are." There's the light.
I think it was the lettering.
That was it. The lettering on the comic.
We'll have to ask Amanda what the white.
It might have been just to break up the colors a bit, because it would be very dark otherwise.
It's very pretty.
But I've gotten a lot of compliments on the project while I'm working. Everyone wants to feel the yarn, and it is super soft. And everyone's like, "Oh, I like the color." So, Amanda, this is a very popular yarn. Amanda is
No Makers.
So yeah, I'm enjoying this. I am trying to make this as large as I can. I like larger shawls. So they say as long as it's in the rows are done in
multiples of 11.
Multiples of 11. Thank you. That was what I was looking for. As long as the shawl is done in multiples of 11, we're good. They said go to 66. I don't think it'll be big enough at 66. I think they used a slightly bigger yarn when they did their information, and I didn't do a gauge swatch. Didn't feel like it. I'll just do it until I think it's big enough, and then I'll add the crochet edging then. Alrighty, then it's your turn.
My turn. Okay, well, I didn't do a whole lot. I started off pretty well and then got busy, and then you see I'm wearing a wrist brace. I had to stop for a couple of days.
One of her patterns, one of her projects hurt her.
Yes, one of my projects. I'll get to that. But I'm working on the Nicole right now. I didn't think I had done much on it, but I did more than I thought. I'm still on the first ball of yarn. The Nicole is the half log cabin ombre blanket by Pearl Soho, named for Nicole of Hot Ass Knitters. Because
she's not plural many knitters.
Yes,
Mom.
I know.
She's one singular knitter.
She's just a busy lady, gets so many projects done that I keep forgetting. Anyway, this is named for her because she is the one who inspired me to move ahead and do something different, and I thank her for that. It's all knit, and as you can tell, I'm still on the first ball, so I haven't made a whole lot of progress. I still seem to have the same size ball. It goes on forever. And I've got these.
It's a ball that never ends. It goes on and on, my friend.
There's something wrong with you. Yes, on that note. So when I finish this, I'll go on to the next color, which is a little darker than this one. But I've done about another maybe 4 or 5 inches on this project. Not a whole lot to say about it. I'm working it on 10.5 inch, 10.5 inch high 6 circular needles on a 32 inch cord, and there's just not too much more to say about it. I won't have any more to show you for a while on this until I switch colors maybe, instead of boring you with the same thing over and over again. I'm going to hold this for a second so I can show you the next one. Put this here aside for a minute. I'm going to have to do something to you. I'm going to poke your token finger. Okay. The Blue Heaven sweater what I did on that was negligible. I'm not going to show it to you again because I only did about 2 or 3 rows. It's by Lisa Gentry from the book Crochet Closet, and although I'm really enjoying the pattern, I can't move forward until I have a little time that I can just sit down and work on the shaping, since I haven't done that. And every time I sit down to do it, somebody's watching television or playing Halo or they're running around doing whatever.
Halo's not that
And
distracting.
I can't concentrate. So I'm going to work until I'm going to put it aside until I have a little time to myself and I can work on the shaping.
You can't think you're screaming and, oh crap, I died!
Yes, and people falling all over the floor. Yes. So
He didn't fall on the floor this
it's
time.
dangerous in here when people play Halo. So
He didn't fall on the floor this time.
No, I know he didn't.
That would
be my
that
husband.
was about a year ago when he fell backwards on the floor.
Okay, so I'm not going to go into the Blue Heaven sweater. Other to say that I'm still working on it. I just didn't make too much progress on it. My next project is the Claret Shawl, which is actually called the Recuerdos de Infancia Shawl by Gabriela Ordonez, also known as Gabriela on Ravelry. And I didn't think I had made a lot of progress on this, but I made some progress on Sunday while they were playing Halo. Yes, this I could work on during Halo.
Yes, because that's not complicated at all.
Well, what's happening is there's an actual pattern to it, and I think I'm on...
and there's no pattern to the sweater.
There's like I'm on row 8 of 24 of the main part of the shawl. So I'm about...
I think you've made a lot of progress
I
on
did.
that.
I made a lot of progress on this. You can see it's growing. It's starting to look like an actual shawl. And you can see, I don't know if you can see, I can see it on the monitor a little bit, the different gradations of the reds and the oranges. I think
tonal.
It's very tonal. It's a fun pattern. I love the pattern. And I think I'll be doing another one of these at some future date when I finally finish this. I'm crocheting this project with Knit Picks fingering, the Knit Picks fingering weight gypsy tonal yarn in the gypsy tonal color with a G hook. And, well, I lost my train of thought.
Good job.
You know what? It comes from having children. Anyway,
you know, that is not going to work forever.
Sure, well, you don't grow back grain cells.
Grain cells?
You don't grow back grain cells. You don't
Little gray cells?
Brain cells. The little gray cells, yes, Poirot. Anyway, what I was trying to say, in order to make the shawl, you need to know how to chain, how to slip stitch, how to half double crochet and double crochet, to triple crochet, to skip stitches, to crochet a, there's that word again, picot, picot, whatever it is, P-I-C-O-T. You need to do one of those. Crochet a shell and follow a pattern, follow a chart and a table, okay? And it really does move along fast once you figure out what you're doing and if you pay attention to where your stitch markers are. You really have to keep that stitch marker on the point. Otherwise, this point here, otherwise you're going to be lopsided. Okay, so that's my Claret shawl. Put that in there. My next project is the R1 cowl, which is the Cariad by Kelly Menzies, also known as Kydell on Ravelry and in her Kydell group. This is the progress. This is the project. I can't talk today.
I don't know why you can't talk. I was on work last night.
This is the one I think I made the most progress on. I started a third ball of
This
yarn.
is also the project that hurt her.
This is the project that hurt my wrist. The long needles, for some reason, I had surgery on my wrist in January. My wrists weren't overly strong to begin with. And it seemed to be healing really well, but those huge, long, straight needles really hurt my wrist, so I had to stop for a day and a half of crocheting and knitting, and then I had to use the brace. And I was working without the brace today before the podcast, but it was starting to hurt, so I put the brace back on. So instead of using the 13 and 15-inch straight Takumi clover wood needles, I'm using 115 and 113, I guess they're points, needles, on the cables. So there's a 15 on one end and a 13 on the other to do this project. And I'm kind of tangled up here. I don't know how I did that.
Because you're a genius.
I'm special.
My friend's special.
No, I was special first. I'm older than she is.
She's special.
But anyway, I guess I'm going to go back to my notes. I'm really scattered today. I don't know what the deal is. It's still a lot of fun for me. I love the yarn. It's very soft. It's a Lion brand, not the Homespun, the
I think it's Hometown USA.
Hometown USA. That's what it is, in the navy colorway. I'm going to have to get another ball at least, I think, because there's only 81 yards, and I'm about halfway through with only one ball left, so I'm going to have to get at least one yarn ball more.
I smell like a sheep.
Yes, you should take a shower. Anyway, to complete this project, you need to know how to cast on, to knit, to attach yarn, to bind off. And I guess it's called picking up stitches, I think is what, no, not on this one. That's Nicole, but yes, I'm just all confused. Don't listen to me at all. I'm just here for comic relief. Anyway, okay. So that's this one. It is getting a lot bigger. I think you can see it. It's on the circulars now, so it's kind of hard for me to do this way. Straighten it out a little bit.
Well, it's not going to be straight when it's done anyway, Mom.
See, well, I know, but they can see how much I made progress. I didn't have a marker this time, a doohickey marker. I guess.
Yeah, you did. It's right. I saw it. Bring it up again. Up. There's your doohickey.
I'm not sure if that's my doohickey for the right side or if it's my doohickey marker for where I was.
Oh, I don't know.
So anyway, that's the progress I've made on this.
You've worked a lot on it, though.
I did. I worked on it a lot. This is kind of my go-to. I really enjoy working on it, especially now that I don't have those really huge, unwieldy needles, and I'm keeping this in my Lois Knitting's My Bag Parisian Ladies bag. I call it Parisian Ladies. I think she calls it something else. But that's where I put it in because it's the only thing it'll fit in right now, and it stays put. I think I lost my thingy bobber to hold it together. So that's this project. I'm still happy with it. I'm looking forward to hopefully getting it done soon. My Batman project is my last project. It's the Batman pattern from Gotham City Imposters Inspired Batman by M.J. Bailey. It probably doesn't look like I've made much progress on it. Let me get my Leslie bag? Erin Lane bag. It doesn't look like I made much progress, probably because I'm exactly where I was last time I showed you, but that doesn't mean I didn't make progress. What happened was I ended up tearing it all out because the yarn is very dark and it's very splitty, and I decided I wanted, and it was also uneven, and I decided I wanted to, instead of using the smaller hook, I think I was using an E-hook, I kicked it up a couple sizes to a G-hook, and it's working a lot better for me. I can see better what I'm doing. It's a lot more even, if you can see. I don't know if you can tell, but there's no like uneven bumps.
It might be hard to see.
It might be hard to see because it's so dark. But I'm about where I was before, which I'm happy with because I had to tear it all out. It was driving me insane. And I almost frogged the project completely, except I really want to give this to my husband. He's probably not going to get it for his birthday. He'll probably get it as a just because birthday gift because his birthday is this Saturday. And I'm not going to stress myself out trying to complete it with my parents coming for the weekend and everything else. He's just going to get it a little late. He might even get it for Christmas, but I think he'll probably get it just sometime as a guess what, honey, this is for you, thank you for everything type of gift. I think I like the pattern. It seems to be fairly well written. I'll know better once I get past this first stage. It's got that funny little round way of doing the round. You have to chain, and then you work in the top part of the chain, and then you work on the bottom part of the chain, and you work around that way till you have a little pocket, and then you keep working that way. So I've done it before. I did it with my frog with ribbit, and it works okay. It's just not my favorite way of doing rounds. To do this project, you need to know how to chain, how to do that little funky little round. You have to know how to single crochet, half double crochet, triple crochet, slip stitch, skip stitches, invisible decrease, which I have not done yet, and work in the round, and of course follow the pattern. So it's not I don't think it's a difficult project. It's a fun project once we get past the the annoying. I won't do this again in black. If I do Batman, I will do him in the traditional 60s colors with the blue and the gray and the yellow instead of the black, because the black is driving me crazy. But other than that, it's a fun pattern. So that's basically what I have that I'm working on right now. Sorry for the incoherence. I have no clue what's wrong with me. I guess I need meds.
A psyche valve. I feel like we look really pale. I feel like I'm glowing. Like
we're red, and we did not choose the same colors.
Okay.
Did not choose the same color.
No, we didn't.
We did, but I was first.
I didn't think about the fact that she was first. I was like, oh, I'll wear my homemade sweater, and then I know we won't match because she doesn't have a sweater like this. And we still ended up matching.
It's Grandma's fault. Grandma gave me the sweater.
Okay, well, we'll have to blame her then. So the next section is spinning. I do not have anything on the spindle to show to you right now. So that will bring me on to FOs. And I actually do have an FO this week. Hold on one second. I'm going to go out of the screen. And it's yarn.
Pretty yarn.
Hang on.
Very pretty yarn.
There we go. I wrote down my yardage. It still needs to be washed and thwacked. And yes, thwack is just what it sounds like. If you are new to spinning and have just got your stuff off your spindle but you haven't washed it yet, washing it softens it a bit, evens up the yarn a little bit. It's just better for the yarn in general. So you boil some water, you put some cleaner in there. I use the darn, I keep wanting to say Eucerin. That's a medication. I can't remember the stuff I used to wash.
You mean that stuff that you don't have to rinse out?
Yeah.
I remember.
I can't remember what it's called. It's EU something, and I want to call it Eucerin, and that's not what it is because that's a medication for people's legs, for dry skin and stuff like that. That's not what I use in my yarn. Anyway, boil the water, put the cleaner in there, let it sit for 10 minutes. Press it gently in a towel to dry it, and then you beat the crap out of it. You grab the edge, whack it 20 times or more, and then you turn
your frustration level.
You turn it around and you whack it 20 more times on the other side. So you just beat the yarn half to death. This one here has approximately 16 yards in it,
Little baby, and it's much more blue.
I Andy implied this. It's basically double plying without having two separate balls of yarn. You make what's called an Anion Bracelet, which you wrap around your wrist and your middle finger, and then you wrap it from the Anion Bracelet. So you have basically two balls of yarn, one on your finger, one on your wrist. You take the two ends, make a center pull ball with the two ends sticking out, and then once you have your center pull ball, you ply with those two ends. And it's a lot easier than Navajo plying. Now you don't have the 3 strands to work with, so it's better for maybe a lighter yarn, I guess. So you just twist the opposite way that you spun. It's very simple. The most difficult thing is getting your Anion bracelet. So I like how it turned out. This is the Ocean Waves colorway by Northern Lights Wool Tops Roving, and this came with my
It's not showing the green as much. It's just showing the blue.
It's
looks almost as blue as your sweater, but it's not.
This came with my top whirl spindle, and it's actually I'm rather proud by how uniform it is. It's more uniform than I thought it would be, and it's about a DK or worsted weight. And then this one here is maybe more worsted. This one is 25 yards, so I've got a total of about 41 yards.
Not too bad out of a sample.
No, it wasn't. So I'm rather happy with it. I'm hoping maybe make a toy or something out of it. And I like the weights. I could actually see myself knitting something with this, which I didn't see myself doing with the other one. So let me put this off to the side. Those are my FOs. which, do you have any of those?
I don't have any.
Okay. So that brings us on to next on the needles. I keep saying this every week. I'm going to start the twin set for Mom. It's a sweater and cardigan by Claire Montgomery, from a vintage knits book. And the book is actually called Knitting Vintage. And I'll be using the Yarn Bee Andes Alpaca, which is 85% acrylic and 15% alpaca in the arabesque colorway. I need to get something off the needles before I start that, though. I keep telling myself I'm not going to start anything else, and then I cast on something else every week, it seems. I also want to start the Nightwing Shawl for Davina, but I need to spin the yarn first. So that might be a while. And this isn't next on the needles, but this is next on the spindle. Where is my bag?
What bag?
My spindle bag.
It's under there, right there, right on the couch, right in front of you, right there. Over there, Taya.
No, that's not my spindle bag.
No, right by the.
Oh, excuse me. Thank you.
It camouflaged.
Okay, there we go. So, actually, I'll pull the fiber out when I get to show you one of my stash enhancements. And I forgot to grab some of my other ones, but that's okay. Because I forgot about them until I pulled this over. I'll be starting the Hank McCoy, which you could see during my stash enhancement. I'll be starting this Hank McCoy fiber from No Makers. I'll start spinning that today. And it seems to be my default spinning is like a worsted or DK weights. I need to figure out how to get the yarn not to break when I'm trying to spin it thinner. I just can't quite seem to get it to spin thinner yet. But I'm happy with the DK worsted. I tend to make more sweaters anyway. But I'll figure it out. But your turn.
Yes. I actually was good and did not do anything new this week, and I hope not to do anything new next week on the hooks of the needles. I would like to get something off. However, and I'll show you my stash enhancements, my hooks did come in. I may end up hooking up a pair of socks for the first time, and it took all my willpower not to start the Sedna shawl because I really don't want something else on my needles.
You don't want to start this?
No, I really don't. I need to get better with what I'm doing, and I will get to that once.
And you need to learn how to purl.
I need to know how to purl. So I will, as soon as I get something off my needles, I will probably take it up and do a swatch where I just do knit purl for a while. Just a small swatch so I can get more comfortable with. Then I can do the Sedna shawl. So I don't think I'm going to be doing anything on the hooks and needles new this time around, but like I said, who knows.
So that leads us on to stash enhancement. Again, I'm going to be out of the screen a little bit, so I'm out of the water. I got more of the Nightwing yarn. I was terrified that I would run out.
She just likes buying Nightwing yarn.
Oh, of course. I need to sell her out. So there he is. You saw it in the project, how it works up.
It looks very pretty.
And there's a horrible glare on this. But, I mean, you already saw it in the project. Why am I showing it? Oh, you know, oh, nothing. My next one I'm not happy about. And you're going to hear a rant. Initially, I ordered to go with this project. I wanted a black.
Which she bought from the other, Spring somebody.
Which I bought from Spring Tree Road. That black looks good. This other stash enhancement I'm not happy about. But you can see the black, and this is very black. See that dark black? So I wanted a black to be my crocheted edging. I thought, oh, this will look very nice. And as someone with work said, you know, this shawl will look very good with the black outfit.
Mm-hmm. Or blue.
Or blue, yeah. Mm-hmm. But the black would kind of pop.
Mm-hmm.
So I ordered from Hot Knit Yarn, and it's Haute Knit Yarn. Their soft and sturdy sock, because it was the same combination of yarns as my Nightwing one. It was 25% nylon, 75% superwash merino. And they said that the colorway was aqua blackout semi-solid. And it looked black on the monitor.
Take it out of the bag, huh?
Does this look like black?
It's almost, from here, on the monitor it looks silver. Here it looks green silver. It does not look black.
In the least. I'm not sure she did her pictures under shadow or what, but I could not tell. When this arrived, I was like, this was not the yarn I ordered. This is a beautiful yarn.
Oh, it's gorgeous. It would make a beautiful shawl or something.
It's a beautiful yarn, but it's not what I wanted. Her yarn is very soft. It looks very beautifully dyed, but it is not the color I asked for. Or it might even be the color I asked for, but not what I expected based on what was represented on the screen. And
because we know that there can be a discrepancy on what you see on the screen and what you receive, but this is not black.
And she called it aqua blackout semi-solid. And there's no black involved. This is not black.
I mean, there might be a black undercoat in here, but we showed my husband who's an artist and said that's not black.
So not particularly happy about this. This is my second bad experience with this particular person. I did one of her designs.
The one you're wearing.
The one I'm wearing right now, and this is the one that it ended up 20 sizes too big, and I had to sew it in the back to make it work. I don't wear this out because it's very pretty up front, but it looks kind of ridiculous in the back.
Right here. They can't see it very well, but yeah. I think they remember it from the last. There you go. Now you can see it.
I mean, I had to do extreme modifications after the fact. So I'm not happy with her. I won't buy anything of hers again. Because I've had 2 bad experiences. And, yeah. I'll use this yarn. It's very nice.
This is very pretty. Make a great shawl or socks or something.
And it's soft, so I'll get out. It's just, I've had 2 bad experiences. And I'm not sure if I ordered, for one thing, I don't know if she got the wrong yarn, maybe. Because she doesn't put a color name on here. So even if I wanted to reorder this, I wouldn't be sure if I would get this again. This particular yarn, if I wanted 2 of this. So I don't know. I'll make something out of it. It's pretty yarn. I'm just kind of disappointed. Next on Stash Enhancements.
Yay, pretty stuff.
I got more of the Darkwing Duck.
Isn't that pretty?
And it kind of was poking out of the stuff bag a little bit.
She did such a good job with this. It's so pretty. It's so soft.
And it really looks like Darkwing.
Yes, it does.
Dangerous. So I have 3 of this fiber, so I should have enough to make the shawl I want for Davina. I was so afraid I'd run out. Because I tend to spin a little thicker.
Did you say Amanda said she would make you more if you needed
it? Yes, Amanda sent me a note with it that, because at this point I've ordered 3 of the Darkwing fibers, and she sent me a note with this fiber saying, if you need me to, get you more Darkwing, I can dye more for you. I might make a sweater out of this in the future because it's really pretty, and I don't usually wear purple.
That's just gorgeous.
But it's absolutely beautiful.
Very pretty. Oh, so soft.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so soft. I wish I spun, but I don't spin. She needs to make a color. Amanda, you need to make yarn out of that. I don't spin. Yarn out of that.
And she sent me a sample with all, I ordered a bunch of fiber from her. Not like a bunch, but I did order a lot of fiber at one time. This is the sample she sent me with it. Last time I got some, I got a sample similar to this. It was smaller, a lot smaller. And I said, oh, do you have any more of that color? I might want to use some to go with the Darkwing shawl I'm making. And she's like, well, it was something that I just threw in. It was on the bottom of my dye pot. She sent me a whole heck of a lot more than she did last time, and it's
actually
very close.
beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. Davina says it should be called macaroni and cheese.
And my sister Davina, she has immediately fallen in love with this. I will have to find something to do with it.
You might be able to get enough out of it to make a scarf or something. A little scarflet.
Yeah,
You know,
maybe.
something.
I'll have to see. It depends on how thin I spin.
Yeah, or something a little bit lacy. But she's dubbed it macaroni and cheese.
Yeah. I don't think it'll go with the blue I dyed up. No, I don't think it'll go with.
No.
Otherwise, maybe I'll get enough for a toy out of here.
You might.
Because I think it's a little less than the fiber that I spun this out of. So.
And if you spin it a little, if you're able to get it a little bit thinner, you might be able to. That's such a nice
It's really
little
nice.
sample. It's really nice.
This isn't a little sample mom. What she
I know.
sent me last time was
I
a
know.
little sample. It was like a corner of this.
Yes, this is such a nice.
I mean, I am super impressed with it. I didn't expect anything like this. This is a bonus. It's huge.
Yeah.
So
she's the best.
Amanda's amazing. And I do have another fiber to show you. It goes with another stash enhancement. I got 3 spindle bags because, well, I'm still waiting on my Turkish spindle to arrive. But I have my other 2 spindles, and I wanted a bag for each spindle. This one is my favorite. It's got a bag string. And I wish I could remember who does this bag. It doesn't say it on here.
It's very nice and strong.
It's got a corduroy outside. It's got a floral inside. It comes with. I'll have to link her in the show notes because she's really amazing.
Stop moving it.
It comes with a fiber bag.
And it's very soft.
And in my fiber bag is hiding my Hank McCoy that I'm going to spin up next. Also from No Makers. But the bag's not from No Makers.
It's a very well made little bag, both of them.
Yep. And then inside the bag, there is, first of all, there's a nice pocket for my spindle. And then there's a random pocket off to the side to hold, I don't know what, but...
Scissors maybe? Whatever.
Yeah, whatever you need. Oh, there's not just one pocket, there's 2 pockets. 3 pockets. So there's 3 little pockets and a large pocket to fit your spindle in.
And then there's the center that you can put the fiber
That you put the fiber in this. So I'm very happy with it. It's a very much on-the-go spinning. Like if I wanted to spin while waiting for my dentist appointment tomorrow, I could. I'll probably knit, but if I wanted to spin, I could.
It's very functional, very well-made bag. I'm not sure whoever made it. It's very much worth the money.
It is. I mean, it's a little more expensive than your typical spindle bag, though, like the normal straight spindle bags. It's worth it. I would totally get more of her spindle bags. Well, this is my large spindle, so it doesn't go down any farther. And I figured it was better this than the hook.
Right.
So there we go.
I thought it was a little high, but you got it already.
No, I didn't want to. I wanted to just. There we go.
Okay.
We'll do that. Okay. That's it for right now.
Okay. My yarn deals from Etsy came in, not Etsy, from Craftsy came in, both of them. I think you remember telling you, those of you who were here last week, that I had 2 deals that I couldn't pass up. One was for 10 balls of yarn for $13.99, I think it was, and the other was a deal for 5 balls of yarn for $14.99. So I went ahead and picked them up. Now I had misread what they said, and I thought they would be all the same colorway, even though I didn't know what the colorway would be. So I was a little surprised when the first one came in. This is the 10 skein. It's a Cascade yarn, Kaleidoscope, DK, Cherub Collection, and I think I'm going to use these for toys because, as you can tell, the colors really don't go together. They did send me some of the same. Like they sent me 2 of this kind of, it's kind of a baby blue, baby green,
Bunch of babyish
white.
colors.
So they sent me 2 of that. They sent me 3 of this kind of a rainbow kind of colorway, and I'm thinking some of these might be good for stuffed animals or monsters or something like that. I haven't get into monsters yet, but I've been looking at them, and I'm kind of excited about some of them. I have 3 of this kind of a lavender colorway. It's different shades of lavender and white. I don't know if you can see the different shades. It's very pretty. A denim kind of color, different shades of blue. And this is the only color I really don't care for. It's got the oranges, the yellow, the pinks and yellows, and not really my colors, but I'll figure out something to do with it. It's free. It wasn't free, but it was cheap. So I will figure out something to do with all these yarns. I may even make a great big something or other with all these yarns. I call it a scrappy. I was thinking about actually doing a scrappy dog. I saw a pattern, crochet pattern for a great big dog, and I think I might make a scrappy dog with all this yarn. I think it'll be enough. The other package, the other deal that came through, it's not the same kind of yarn. It's Ironstone Warehouse yarn. It's all cotton, 100% cotton. There's 328 yards in each skein. And although the colors are not the same, they do go together. And I'm actually thinking of doing the satin shawl in this and maybe doing 4 colors instead of 3 because I got 4 colors.
Because initially satin shawl calls for changing colors.
Right.
I just chose not to.
Now this is kind of a there's kind of a pink,
It's a purple.
well, it's kind of a mauve is what it is. And I got 2 of those. I got this kind of a peach. They don't have a colorway on them. They just have numbers. This is a peach, and it's hard to tell with the glare on the screen. I'm not sure if you can see the color. A peach kind of color. Then there's this kind of a almost a lighter version of what Talia got on that other yarn that she didn't care for, but it's more of a kind of green, tan, gray kind of color. And then there's this gray. And so it's very soft for cotton, and I'm looking forward to using it. I think it would look nice in a satin shawl or something similar.
I forgot a stash enhancement.
Okay, I have one more to do. The only other stash enhancement I have, if I can get this into the bag again, are my hooks. And I've been waiting, it seems like forever. Webs is very good. I love webs, but we had a little mix up with my orders, and it finally came in. I got 2 USB 1 or 2.25 millimeter hooks, crochet hooks, with the comfort grip handle because my wrists and my fingers tighten up on me, and I don't think I'd be able to use the very thin metal hooks or aluminum hooks. So I got these 2, and I'm hoping to use them in the future to do crocheted socks. So I'm really happy that that finally came in, and that is what I have for my stash enhancements.
Now, I forgot a part of my stash enhancements. I've been waiting for this. It's a book called Respect the Spindle. Spin Infinite Yarns with One Amazing Tool. And it's by Abby Frankelmont. And she has awesome YouTube videos as well. So it goes over some of the history of spindling, what spindles to choose, how to wash your yarn, all that kind of thing.
That's pretty, yeah.
It's a very nice book. It's a lot of pictures. Let's see. A lot of pictures. Step by step. I mean, she's amazing. So I'm really looking forward to making use out of this book. I was getting frustrated because it hadn't arrived yet from Amazon. I wanted it now. So respect your spindle.
It looks really good. Is that the one I almost picked up for you?
It is the one you almost picked up.
Yeah.
So Obsessions, No Makers, Spinning, and Ravelinics. Or Ravelympics, rather.
Ravelympics.
I am in the Knit Me Happy Ravelympics group. That's another podcast.
That's Rachel.
With Rachel, who is Tiny Geek Crafter on Ravelry and Plurk, and I'm in her team. Now that I've gotten the ocean, whatever, off the spindle, when I start the Hank McCoy, that can count toward my Ravelympics, which is good because I haven't done anything for it yet. And yeah, it's my obsessions.
My obsessions. Yes, no makers. No makers and project bags and craftsy and I think that's basically it. Oh, little stuffed toys. I've been going through looking for patterns for stuffed toys, big toys, little toys, any kind of crocheted stuffed toys I've been going through. And then, of course, my writing. I didn't do a lot with my writing, nothing on the synopsis. I have been writing a little bit on the shared story that Ty and I are doing. I'm almost finished with the responding to what she has written, and I'm doing some new stuff. So that's kind of fun, getting the creative juices flowing again. But basically, that is where I'm at with the obsessions.
Okay, so on
Good to go.
Before I go on thank yous, this sweater is something I made before I started podcasting. It's my work sweater. It is crocheted. It's my first sweater for myself. And it is a Lisa Gentry pattern as well. So it's big and bulky and warm and comfortable. I don't usually wear it at home, but I felt like wearing it at home right now.
It was getting a little chilly in the house for once with the air conditioner going.
So I am wearing my wardrobe up top is completely handmade.
I just saw Davina going, twing! You have to know Davina. Anyway.
I did no writing this week. But I also worked a lot, so.
Okay.
Thank you for joining our new Rav members. That came out wrong. Thank you, our new Ravelry members, group members, for joining. We have a group on Ravelry called Nurse with Needles. Come and join. Feel free to start threads. Feel free to just have chatter and fun stuff like that.
Post pictures.
Just, this is your guys' home. Play there. We are at 38 members right now. When we reach 50 members, we hope to have something fun. And when we get to 50 members, we'll see what that fun will be. Our new members are, well, first of all, Amanda from No Makers, and her Ravelry name is No Makers. So yay, Amanda!
Hi, Amanda. Welcome aboard.
Then we have Tommy Girl, who is Diane. Welcome.
Welcome.
This RN Knits, who is Emily.
Another nurse. Yeah.
Yep. And then we have Lynn Knitter, and she joined only a few hours before we started podcasting. So hi, welcome.
Welcome aboard.
And my other thank you is to Amanda from No Maker. She mentioned us in her podcast. She gave us a big thank you. So yeah, that's, unless you have some thank yous to add.
Nope, I just wanted to thank Tangerine 8, who did get my Star Wars bag out very, very quickly. She said that she would send them out Monday. I looked on Etsy, and it has shipped, so I'm looking forward to that coming in soon. So thank you.
Alrighty, we're in at just under an hour. Alrighty, God bless, guys. Happy knitting
and crocheting.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.